you got two different kinds of testing. You got measurement, and then you've got a testing which is kind of to find the essence of the person, which you can't. You know, you measure the test, but I don't even mind about that. We've always had tests. Teachers always put together tests. It gives them an idea what the children learned or didn't learn, and they go on from there. But this is a different matter, and it was brought forward, I think, on a world basis where people are getting into the testing. And you know, part of the whole thing gives you a notion of why it should be condemned. First of all, we were all told that these tests would be very, very just used for a general notion of how mathematics was being taught at a grade level in that board. And they would never be distributed to anyone else. And they would never be published in the paper. And they would never make comparisons with anyone else. And all of that has been a lie. But more important than that, the things that matter to most people become second down the line. You never hear anybody with a standardized test for art appreciation, or for music, or for public speaking, or, you know, all of these things. We went through a long period of time where we tried to do away with this involuntary competition. There's nothing wrong with voluntary competition. I used to say, you know, if you really believe that competition, involuntary competition, is good for a person, you take the kid with the one leg and put him at the top of the 100-yard dash and have him run. Now, if he wants to, that's okay with me, but you can't force him to. You know, that's wrong. And that's what we did in school. We're saying, if you get 100 on your test, you're better than the kid that gets 90. You know, and that isn't so. You know, so the kind of testing thing is, once again, Phil will remember very well, I said to him one day and one of his buddies that I was going to phone the Children's Aid Society to complain that there were 6,000 8-year-olds being abused in the city of Hamilton on that day because they were required to take a 5-hour test 5 days in a row, sitting in a room and doing a formal test at 8 years of age. And that further, their results were going to be, would be on their, the results would affect their teacher, their school, their board, their financing. And furthermore, the teachers had been told that they may not help those children. So here we took little people who were told by their parents to go to school, that their teachers loved them, and if they had any problems, just ask their teacher. And all of this, if you know, if you had some benefit from it, you might say, well, oh, but there's no benefit whatsoever from it. The good teacher would have told you the results of that test before it happened. And that's in the literature too. You know, so what it really has done is it has destroyed what we had, that I described earlier at the beginning, was this freedom to do things, always for the children. You know, it was very fortunate that I had a position of authority, because that allowed me to allow people to do things. And I think that was so important, and our principals were the same. It allowed our principals to let their teachers do things without any of this external stuff. I wish they'd stop this testing stuff, because it is destroying all kinds of children. And if it were in any way valid, that would be fine, but it isn't. It's very frustrating that we don't value all learning.